I feel like Gus Gus right now. Hello! My name is Literary Haley, and I love to talk about books, specifically romance books, where audiobooks are my jam. This is my April TBR. April is going to be a very busy month for me because I have a ton of books here that I would like to read this month. 18 books is on my TBR. Now, typically I don't stick to a TBR. March is the first month that I've tried to stick to a TBR. Of course, I've read other things, but it really helped me and I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to continue going forward with trying to do a TBR. I forgot to mention, I like to know as little as possible about the books that I'm reading. So most of these I know little to nothing about, maybe a few tropes and that sort of thing. I have two different historical romance series that I would like to read this month. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Destiny series by Beverly Jenkins. I recently just hauled all three of these books, and I'm going to do the audios as well as follow along with the physical. That's my go-to around here. These are historical westerns. They take place in California during the 1880s, and I believe each book follows a different sister. Book one is Destiny's Embrace. This looks like it's going to be a romance between a farmer and his housekeeper. Book two is Destiny's Surrender, and this looks like it's going to be a secret baby, marriage of convenience, and I'm kind of going to guess maybe second chance romance. And the last one is Destiny's Captive, and the only thing that I have written for this is it's a pirate romance. Sign me up. Oh, also, she steals his ship. I already love her. Next is going to be the Turner series by Cat Sebastian, and I did just haul these. I am going to do the audios as well as follow along with the physicals. These are all historical romances, and I believe they're Regency romance. Book one is The Soldier's Scoundrel, and this is going to be between a bad boy and an earl. Book two is The Lawrence Brown Affair, and this is going to be a secret romance. Book three is The Ruin of a Rake. This is actually what started me wanting to get this series because I hauled this book first. I found it at Dollar General for $3, and of course, I need the others to start the series. I like to read the series in order, most of the time anyway. This looks like it's going to be Hate to Love, a reformed rake type of scenario. A Little Light Mischief, and this is going to be a romance between a lady and a lady's maid. All the King's Men series by Kennedy Ryan. This is actually on my March hopefuls. I didn't get around to it, so this is going to be like a priority read. I believe it's a duet and then a standalone. I am going to do the audios as well as follow along. I actually have the first two on Audible, and then this one I have available through my local library on audio. So that's how I'm going to read this series. For my fantasy romance, this is the Wraith Kings series by Grace Draven, and sorry for the horrendous glare, but I only own two in physical, but I own the first two on audio, and the third book in this series is available on audio through my local library. Book one is Radiance, and book two is Dolan. I'm butchering that, I know. And I think Radiance is Friends to Lovers, but I know nothing about this one or the third book. Bitter Burn by Anne Aguiar. This is a gothic Beauty and the Beast retelling. Yes, need I say more? That's all I know about that one. This book does not have an audio available, but if I'm in the mood to sit down and read a book without having the audiobook, this is a hopeful. For my dark romances, I have Asking for It and Begging for It. This is a duet. I don't think book three ever came out. From what I know, this is like finished, like it's finished enough. And this is supposed to be very on the non-con side, and I'm really excited to read it. These do not have an audio available. Typically, audiobooks are my first way to go. I find that with me, I'm not able to really focus on a book all of the way if I'm not able to have the audio in my ears and following along. And we've got the Devil trilogy by Amelia Wilde. Book one is Devil in the Deep Blue Sea. Book two is A Deal with the Devil, and book three is Devil May Care. I do have the audios available through my local library, and I'm going to follow along with the physical. This is a dark pirate romance with Greek mythology and retellings, and that is all I know about this trilogy. The last book I want to talk about is Debt by Nina G. Jones. I read Take Me With You by her. Obsessed. Freaking obsessed. I don't know much about this one either, other than the fact that I'm pretty sure there's going to be non-con in it, which, by the way, that's like one of my favorite tropes to read, or if you can even call it a trope. Keyword. My favorite trope that's a non-trope. I don't know. I love reading about non-con. Anyways, I have the ebook as well as the audio for this one. So that's how I will read Dut. So actually I had more than 18 books on my TBR. It is quite a bit. I'm a bit ambitious, but I am a really bad mood reader. And so I feel like I've picked up enough that are kind of different to where if I'm not feeling the vibe of one book, maybe I can move on to the others. Of course, I'm not going to stick to this list. I know that, but this is just a guide to help me stay on track because I am trying to clear out all of the books that I own physical copies of that I have not read. I'm quite embarrassed to say this, but the majority of my shelf I have not read. Yes, book collecting and book reading is two different things. But the thing with me is if I find a book on sale, I'm gonna buy it. Anyways, that is all for now. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.